Hi and welcome to this video. So today I want to make a portfolio review with you. So this is something I'm not doing very often, so this is really a special video. And I'm usually only doing portfolio reviews with my member every Wednesday and also at the weekend in the weekend reports. So here you can see what I own at the moment, and I will go with you through all the positions and show you where I bought into the position and also my thoughts about that. And then I will also have a look at three closed positions with you. So let's start with Pony. Pony is the robot taxi leader. So it is one of the strongest stocks, and we discovered the stock very early. And here you can see this extreme big move in Pony. So it moved 200% in just, 4 days. And you know, a lot of people are afraid of stocks that move so strongly in a couple of days. But for me, it is a sign of strength. And then I'm doing research about the stock and also about the company. And what I discovered was what I expected. It is the robot taxi leader, and robot taxis will be the future. So this is a high potential story, and we know the stock already. We know the stock here from February because we traded here this uptrend very nicely and sold everything into the strengths. So I bought into Pony when it moved above this resistance here. It had the nice consolidation here, and then I bought into Pony, and now the position is up 79%. So I was able to place, 7% stop loss, a little bit more than a 7% stop loss, and it moved immediately in my direction. I held the position through earnings because I had enough profit cushion, and now I'm expecting, of course, that the position will move higher from here. So Pony is one position I own. I also own Bitcoin. I'm not so happy with Bitcoin, to be honest. I bought that here when it broke out of this channel. And the position is now around 9–10% in profit, but I expected a much stronger move in Bitcoin. We traded here this big up move in 2024. So we bought here into Bitcoin and we sold that into the strength, but the remaining position or the rest of the position we sold here for a 50–60% profit. So a much better trade and a much higher momentum. And at the moment it looks like Bitcoin is creeping higher, and this is a position I'm monitoring very closely. It's one of my bigger positions, and I'm monitoring it very closely to maybe replace that against maybe Ethereum or Solana. So then I own Tesla, and many members own Tesla and Pony and all the positions I'm showing you. So Tesla is one of the positions I bought here. It was not a typical trade for me, to be honest, because I usually do not buy stocks that are in a downtrend or close to the bottom. I want to see some momentum before, but the risk reward ratio here was so good. I was able to place a 2% stop loss in Tesla, and I bought a very big position. So I bought here, and now the trade is almost 30% in profit. And I sold already on the way up to reduce my position size. So a lot of members own Tesla, and they benefit from the up move at the moment. So then we own Hood, and I own Hood. We bought that here on the up gap. We monitored Hood closely during the bottom building phase here. Then we waited for the right situation. This is very important, buying right. We waited for this small flag pattern here. The stock gapped up, and now the position is 27% in profit. MVST is one of our bigger winners. We bought the position here before the general stock market turns around. So true market leaders, they can break out and can move higher before the general stock market turns around. So here I bought the first time into the stock, and a lot of members bought with me, and now the position is 115% in profit. I got stopped out here, and I bought back here on the up gap again. So, but a lot of members, they kept the position during the whole up move. And now we are waiting. We are waiting if MVST will continue here on the upside. MVST is a high potential story. This is, this is what we are looking for. This is what we are researching all the time. This is the next generation of battery modules for electric vehicles, so called solid state batteries. So, and you can see that here, they have a low price to sales ratio. They could become profitable in 25, 26. They had record revenue here on the last earnings and a big margin uplift. This is why research is so important. You want to understand why the stock is moving and if there is a high potential for a future move in the stock. And MVST is one of them. TMC is a stock we observed many months in the community. A member recommended the stock in the live chat, and that was where was it? It was here during the first up move, and I said, okay, it's maybe not so liquid. Let's wait until real volumes coming into the stock, and that happened here in April. So when good news came out, you can see the volume increased dramatically, and we were watching the US rare earth metal theme with many stocks during that time, and TMC was the leader, and then it consolidated very, very nicely here, and we bought into the stock here on May 15, and you can see the position is now 44% in profit. I already took some profits here on the way up to keep control of the position size. This is very important. I teach that to members all the time. So then QBTS. QBTS is a quantum computing stock. We own also a second quantum computing stock, and members are owning different quantum computing stocks. We were watching the quantum computing stocks during the market correction all the time, so we did not buy into it too early. We waited really for the right buy signals. And a lot of members were able to catch this up gap here and are sitting now in a 125, 126 profit position. I bought a little bit later into the stock because I missed the up gap here, and then I waited until the stock started to consolidate here a little bit, and then I bought, I tried here the first time to buy into it, I sold it on the same day, and I bought that back on the next day. So buying back is very important. You have to learn that. If you have a high potential stock, you want to buy the stock back as soon as it sets up again. So I bought into it here, and my position is now 45% in profit. I had a very large position here, and I sold after this first momentum burst. I sold a part of my position into the strength and took already profits. So second quantum computing position I'm owning is QUBT, quantum computing. One of my members bought into it here on April 24 and is now sitting in a 90% profit position. So this is great, right? You really can learn how to find these stocks and how to trade these stocks. I personally bought into the stock here on May 22nd with a lot of members, and currently we're sitting in a 15%, 16% profit position. So let's see how these stocks will develop in the next couple of weeks. So quantum computing is the next generation of computing. Quantum computers are 1 million times faster than general or normal computers. You need that for AI application and for a lot of calculations. So, and the market knows that, and this is one of the reasons why we are trading these stocks. Institutions are now taking positions in these stocks, and they are driving these stocks to new highs. The big volume that you can see here is not because you and me are buying these stocks, and these are not penny stocks, by the way, right? These are stocks traded heavily on the stock exchange with a very high volume, so they are very liquid. So then I own 3 nuclear energy stocks. I bought all 3 to see what is the leader and then maybe sell 1 or 2 of them. Members also own other nuclear energy stocks. We know the theme since a while, and we were observing these stocks since a while. And SMR is one of the leaders because this is the only company that will bring a small module reactor, so the next generation of nuclear energy, live to the grid until 2027. So, and these SMRs, they are needed for data centers, for power supply, and also other applications. So this is the next generation of nuclear energy. And we bought these stocks on Friday when they gapped up on good news. And you can see here SMR opened up 28.50, so it was here around that level, is now up 25% on heavy volume. OKLO is another stock. It's not a small modular reactor stock like SMR, but they are building some powerhouses also needed for data centers, but also for general electricity, so generating some power for houses and cities and villages. And this stock here had a very, very nice consolidation before, and then it gapped higher, and you can see now the stock is up 20% on heavy volume. And then together with these nuclear energy stocks, you also have the nuclear energy producers. Lightbridge is just one of them. There are other stocks as well, and members also own other stocks. And this here is one of them, Lightbridge, and it was one of the strongest stocks here on Friday in the pre-market when it comes to volume. And I'm always showing my members in the community how to find these stocks, what to observe in the pre-market to catch a stock like that, and how to react fast so that you can buy into a stock like Lightbridge very quickly. So this one opened around 12.7. I did not catch it at 12.7. It was a little bit higher, so around this level, but this one is now a 30% profit position, and it moved 42% on that day, right? And we already have these stocks in our story stock list. So yesterday we bought into OPFI. It was on the daily preparation list for the members with trading ideas, and this is a fintech company. They offering loans via a marketplace, and the revenue growth is not so strong in the company, but they are very, very profitable, and they raised their guidance now. So, and the price to sales ratio is also very low. It's just a two times, or the stock trades on 2 times the yearly revenue. So these are the criteria we're looking for to see some high potential. And we bought into the stock here yesterday with our buying technique so that we can buy slowly into the stock and avoid a lot of failed breakouts. And now you can see that the stock is up 5%, but it's also up 5% in pre-market. Then I own TMDX. We bought that also here yesterday. We prepared this trade for a couple of days now, and we are not buying blindly into it. We are not buying inside the consolidation. We are buying on a breakout, and we were waiting very patiently until TMDX took out the highs here. So this is a high potential medical company, very specialized. And you can see yesterday it was up 3.4%. But this stock had a really, really good risk reward ratio. So we planned the trade to enter it at 125.30. It was in the focus list for the members. And then we were able to place a 2 or 3% stop loss on the thing. So we were able to buy a larger position with a very tight stop loss. And now, of course, we hope that the stock will continue to move higher from here. So, and then I own AKER Aviation. There was a pullback buy yesterday. The stock was up very nicely and moved back above the EMA 8 here from a very strong support level. From time to time I'm doing pullback trades, but to be honest, 90% of my trades are breakout trades. I'm not the best pullback trader, but I know that some of my members are pullback traders, and that's also one of the reasons why I sometimes highlight stocks to them that are on a good pullback level. So AKER Aviation, flying taxis, this is also a high potential theme of the future. And AKER is something we are watching it, let's say it that way. We are watching it for quite some time. We know the stock, we know the story in the background. And we had that on the story stock list. And yesterday I highlighted that in the community live chat. So then we closed some positions very successfully. One of them is CRWV. We bought that here. This is the AI data center leader. They have a big contract with OpenAI, which is the company behind ChatGPT. And you can see the stock rose 133% in just a couple of days. I sold that here around 102 to wait for a next pullback, but you can see it moved higher, right? So, and I'm not always right with the exact selling. For me, it's much more important that I catch a big move instead of, being perfect when it comes to buying and selling. So some of my members are still in the stock because they have a different selling technique, or they want to hold it for a longer time. And that's okay, right? It's very, very important that every trader has their own trading strategy fitted to their personality. This is really important. This is what I teach, and this is also where I help my members to grow and develop their own trading strategies. So this was a very, very good trade for me. So then we traded AIVA. AIVA is the leader in LiDAR technology. LiDAR is needed in electric vehicles, but also in robot taxis and so on for navigation purposes. So, and we tried to buy into the stock here the first time. I got stopped out on the next day. I tried that here again. I got stopped out, or I closed my position on the same day here. And then I bought into it here on Friday again. And now you ask yourself, yeah, but why are you not holding it through all the consolidation? You will never know what a stock will do. It can continue to move down here, or it goes sideways, and then you are in a position going nowhere. This is something I don't want to do. I take my small loss and then I move on, and then I try that again, as long as I have a conviction in the stock. As long as the losses are very small, and my losses are very small. So as long as your losses are under control, you can easily buy 1 or 2 times into a stock. So, and I bought here on May the 2nd, and I was able to place a very tight stop loss. And all the trades that that I did here in the last couple of weeks, they were in the daily preparation post for the members, or in the live chat. And my members also took some other trades that are very successful that I did not take, and I'm really proud on them. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see independent traders. That's important. So I bought here into AIVA with a 3.5% stop loss, so a very tight stop loss. And this thing moved up 125% in just a couple of days, and I sold everything into the exhaustion. I already took some profits on the way up. So now you can see this thing is consolidating very nicely. It could set up again, and then I will buy that back and trade it a second time. So, and yesterday I sold Palantir. I'm not so happy with the position. I mean, we bought that here. That was very nice. We held that through earnings. Some of my members are still owning it. So we bought that here, and I sold that for a 23% profit. But why did I sell Palantir? Not because there is not a great story in the background, or I do not have any conviction in the stock. No, it was an underperformer in comparison to my other stocks, and I want to get rid of weak stocks. That's important. And when I do not have a lot of conviction in the stock because it's not acting right, I get rid of it, and I can easily buy that back later, or I can move my capital into other stocks which maybe have a little bit more potential. And I did that in the last couple of days. But to be 100% honest with you, right now you can get the impression, yeah, Julian is buying only winners or whatever. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. I have a hit rate of 35 to 40%. So that means 65 to 70%, 65 to 60% of all my trades are losers. I'm losing more than I'm winning. That's important. But as you can see, when you look at AIVA or when you look at CRWV here, my winners are very big in comparison to my losers, right? When I get stopped out, I have maybe a stop loss of, let's say, 3, 5, or a maximum of 7%. So, but when I win, I'm able to catch moves like 30, 50, 100, 200%, something like that. And this is at the end how I make money in the market. I'm catching some big winners in a year, and they pay for all the small losses and they also generate the profit. This is not a strategy which everybody can execute because, it requires a certain mindset. You must be able to accept losing. That is very important, right? It's not about the hit rate here. It's about catching some big winners. And, I teach this strategy to my members and also to my video course students since years. And I know that it's not very easy to learn. The principles are very simple, but you need to develop the right mindset. And I'm teaching that and I'm helping my members with that to learn that. Because at the end, when you have this feeling of catching one or two big winners, this is all the reward for the work you put in. So I hope that you like this video. You can try out my member service 14 days for free. Just go to my website and join 14 days for free. Or if you want to learn more, you can also buy my video course. There's everything inside, over 400 videos with a lot of educational material, and you can learn how to become a growth and momentum trader.